So what's the difference between a will and a trust? This is one of the most common questions I get in an initial meeting with clients. They've read some stuff online, they've read a blog, they've heard a podcast, and they say, what is the difference between a will and a trust? So a will is a document that says what happens to your assets after you're gone. If we have children under 18, it says who will be their guardian, and if they're going to inherit money, it will set up a trustee for them. They can have a set of specific gifts. Now, that document only becomes valid and enforceable after you pass away. The difference between that and a trust is that you can set up a trust during your lifetime. It's called a revocable living trust or an irrevocable living trust, or maybe it's a special needs trust if we have government benefits that we need to protect for somebody. And the advantage of a trust is you set it up during your lifetime, you can move assets into it, you have specific guidelines on how those assets are managed both while you're alive, but also after you pass away. So remember that a will is just for after you pass away, whereas a trust becomes this document that can actually span your death. So it can be effective while you're alive, and then it can still govern what happens to those assets after you pass away. There's a lot more intricacies between these two documents, especially with the trust and all the different options we have. So don't just jump into a trust and think that's what I need. Make sure you speak to a professional and find out whether you need a trust or a will or both. And in most cases, you'll need a will, and sometimes you want a trust on top of that will.